Thunderstorm warning for Bell County and Coryell County until 4:15 a.m. This severe thunderstorm warning is for 65-mile-per-hour winds and quarter to half dollar size hail, so we want to continue to watch that. All right, this line is rapidly picking up speed here as we're seeing new development out ahead of it, and because of that, it is moving much quicker now. We are seeing the speed of this picking up to 50 to 60 miles per hour off towards the south. So it is moving very, very quickly here across central Texas. All right, let's put on all the lightning once again. Also, reading your questions, pretty strong here in Hewitt. Yes, certainly is. And let's see, looking at some of the winds. Hewitt, you should be really just seeing a lot of rain, the lightning, and maybe that some of that small hail up to the size of quarters, possibly some half-dollar size hail mixing in. But the strongest winds are going to be back towards your west. There were some gusty winds there briefly, closer to around 15 minutes ago. There on the east side of Hewitt, that gusty area of winds has moved closer to Marlin now. We do have the strong winds really extending back from McGregor. Crawford winds are picking up for you guys, then back towards Gatesville as we could be seeing some damaging winds surging out with that line of storms there to the northwest of Temple. So we're going to have to continue to watch that. Let's see here. Let's get you guys another radar tour. Continue to throw out those questions and I will try to answer them. There's so many of the questions get thrown on here so quick that they scroll up and I pretty much try to read at least the newer ones. You're welcome. Let us know when it hits Temple. I'll know when you know too, Anita, because we're also live in downtown Temple and it's getting pretty close to this Temple as we're seeing some strong winds moving into Bell County. Let's go adjust this a little bit here. As this line moves a little bit further south, let's adjust our radar a little bit further south as well. All right, so we'll save that. Let's see. All right, so where we're seeing those greens go to light blues, even little darker shades of blue, that's where we could be seeing those stronger winds moving through Coryell County, very quickly approaching northwestern Bell County. So heads up, if you live along the Coryell-Bell County line, northwest of Temple, northwest of Morgan's Point, strong winds are coming from the northwest, as some strong winds are likely moving through the Gatesville area. If you're watching us now out in Gatesville, let us know what you guys are experiencing, because you've got some of the strongest winds here in all of central Texas. Also seeing those strong winds there along 317 in western McLennan County. Waco's still going to be dealing with some gusty winds, but the strongest winds are off towards your west-southwest, so that's good. Okay. All right, Chelsea. Let's move this a little bit further down. Hillsboro west, you guys are looking pretty good as this line continues to race off towards the south. This is the severe threat. Our warnings are for the line and areas out ahead of it. Let's readjust that. And let's look at those winds there. So where we see those bright winds going through Gatesville, getting closer to Killeen, Temple, Morgan's Point, that's where we could see the potential for 60 up to 65-mile-per-hour winds moving into Bell County. A little bit further over towards the east, we've got the line cutting from Leon County back into Robertson. We still have some severe thunderstorm warnings out here. It looks like our severe thunderstorm warning has expired for Freestone County and Leon. Let's see here. Let's see here. Cancels for. So they have started to clear off some of the thunderstorm watch across North Texas, and so they're clearing off some of those watch boxes from north to south. So that's good for us. So there is no severe thunderstorm warning no longer for Freestone County. And then we had a severe thunderstorm warning that went until 3:15 for portions of Leon, Limestone, and Robertson. So that one's cleared out. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning to the south of Leon, but currently Robertson and Leon counties are not in the severe warning, as the line is still intense, but looks to be below severe limits. Also, Milam County, you are currently not in a severe thunderstorm warning, though this line of storms is really closing in on you from the northeast, from the north, and even from the southwest. So we will definitely continue to watch this line of storms as it moves a little bit closer to you guys and closing in. But hopefully it can stay well behaved and stay below those severe limits. That would be the ideal situation. As far as winds back here go, not seeing anything concerning in Leon County. Some gusty winds around Franklin, Calvert, but again, looks like those should be below severe limits. We are seeing some stronger winds there, maybe picking up between Golinda and Marlin. Could see some damaging winds, some isolated damaging winds with some stronger winds there around the Marlin area, just off towards the west. So let's start this over and we'll go back to the top. Okay, so a lot of lightning out there. Again, send us videos, send us text messages if the storm does come through your area and is a little bit stronger and does cause some damage or knock some things around. Send us videos, send us text messages to 254-859-5481. Is radar in present time? I am at the edge of Belmead-Waco line, constant lightning and thunder still. Yes, this is the radar is at live time. You can see the stamp. It's on a 1-hour loop here. Stopping at 3:23 on the top right of your screen. You got it, Tammy. Strong wind gusts here in Franklin. Pretty wild out there right now. Yeah, and right now you don't have any severe warnings for Franklin, for Robertson County. So the winds are not as strong, though I'm trying to look at the lightning here and see if it's ticking up a little bit. Again, look at the lightning. If the lightning goes up, then the storms are usually intensifying, and we're seeing the intensity of the storms ticking up. It's pretty constant. Again, we've got the worst of it is now out of the I-45 corridor. So the way this line goes back towards the west-northwest, we're going to be clearing off our counties from, it looks like, east to west. It's not the usual way we do it, but that's how we're going to be doing it tonight. So we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings for Leon County, for Robertson, or Milam. Though, with the way this line is encroaching and approaching from the north-northwest, Milam County, you will have a shot to see a severe thunderstorm warning here as this line gets ready to move in from the northwest. But again, everything is below severe limits in Robertson and Leon County. A lot of lightning. I'm sure there's some pockets of small hail and some gusty winds in there, but it looks like winds should be below 60 miles per hour, likely even possibly below 50. Certainly some wind gusts, 20, 30, 40 miles per hour will be possible within that line of storms. We take off the lightning, we can see the darker reds back towards I-35 and off towards the west. We've even got some purples and pinks showing up in there as well. Rob, go ahead. Can you say that again? 5 minutes? Okay. I'll do this. We're going to do another cut-in on Channel 6, so you can watch that live as well. I'll run through this real quick, and then as we get ready to do the cut-in, I'll kind of start over on the presentation, so to speak, here. So we are seeing that back build towards Mills County into the Gulfweight area. Not a severe thunderstorm warning for you in Gulfweight, but the eastern third of Mills County does have the warning there for the possibility of some 60-plus mile-per-hour winds, and maybe some $quarter to $half size hail would be showing up with that hail core there right along the Hamilton and Mills County line. Heavy rain picking up, gusty winds picking up in Evant, Lampasas. The line is finally making its way to you. The northwestern extent and western edge of this line hasn't been racing off to the south as quick as the I-45 section has been. But again, this little backward C right there, that area that's kind of pushing out and rapidly developing, that's where we could see some of the stronger winds. Where we're seeing these lighter blues, seeing it go from green to blue, that's where we could see our damaging winds. So some very strong winds being picked up around Gatesville, areas off towards the south along Highway 36. We're seeing the leading edge of those strong winds getting closer to Bell County. Strongest wind threat exists across southern Coryell County, dropping quickly towards Fort Hood, Killeen, western Bell County. Gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour still possible with this little bowing segment here. So we do continue our severe thunderstorm warning for Coryell, Hamilton, and Mills for 65 mile per hour winds and quarter-size hail. That's this warning That's this warning right here. You see there's actually a little bit of a gap, or maybe these two kind of overlap each other. This is for 65-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail, and then the other warning that takes off for Coryell into Bell County is for the possibility of 50 to 60, 65-mile-per-hour winds, where we're seeing these lighter blues here. So those winds are rapidly pushing off towards the south. This line of storms is moving 60 miles per hour, so you get the forward motion of these storms, the strong winds that are in the storms themselves, and we can see some of those strong winds coming out and reaching the surface. So we're a matter of probably less than 30 minutes, probably closer to 15 minutes, 20 minutes before the line and the strongest winds do reach Temple, Harker Heights, Belton, Morgan's Point. The winds are going to be picking up here very quickly. Bruceville, Eddy. We've got some gusty winds here in McLennan County as well, but it looks like the strongest winds should be closer to Highway 317 in far western areas. We're seeing some of those little pinks showing up. That's where we are looking at those hail cores. That's where we could see embedded quarter size to $half size hail embedded inside this line. The entire line's not producing large hail like that, but you can certainly still get some small hail in other areas. So Waco, things are going to be quieting down for you here. We're seeing the heaviest rain pushing off towards the south, still some lingering lightning, still some lingering showers, but the severe threat is shifting off towards the south for you, so that's good news. And then we're also seeing some pockets of the stronger hail now developing in northwestern Bell County. Let's look at the winds inside there. 2 minutes, Rob, heard you. We've maybe got some stronger wind gusts there, trying to pick up a little bit in speed in extreme southeastern McLennan County on the east side of 35. So some gusty winds here, could be approaching that 50, maybe some winds trying to get closer to 60 miles per hour there in southern McLennan County. But again, the strongest winds right here, the ones that could really have the better shot of producing some damage moving into northern Bell County. So all those areas in Bell County that saw the shower earlier, you're saying, hey, Zach, on social media here, are we done? Are we done in Killeen? Are we done in Harker Heights? No. We've got a line of storms that is moving into Bell County right now. Richard just went calm in Killeen. It's not going to stay that way for long. Tammy, crazy in Gatesville. 1 minute heard. So let's just go ahead and back up here. We're getting ready. We're about a minute out, and we're going to do a cut in on Channel 6. So we'll get those graphics ready, and we'll kind of start over again. Crazy in Gatesville, yes. And the strongest winds are still around Gatesville, but they should be pushing more on the south side of Gatesville. Richard just went calm and clean. Now the winds are starting to pick up. Yeah, and they're just going to continue to pick up here over the next 15 minutes. This line is moving very quickly into Temple. Temple heads up for you. No tornado chances. The chance for a tornado isn't zero, but there's really a greater concern for the damaging winds. If there was a tornado, it would likely be brief, short-lived, and it would be a very isolated area. Okay, stand by. All right, Meteorologist Zach Scott here. Want to give you an update on our severe weather threat here across central Texas. We are seeing a damaging wind threat picking up for Coryell County, Bell County, and western, southwestern portions of McLennan County. It's this area right in here that damaging wind threat is rapidly increasing. We do have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings pretty much for this entire line here across central Texas. A lot of lightning. We're seeing the lightning picking up here. That's an indicator that the intensity of the storm in Coryell County, McLennan County, and getting ready to push into northern Bell County, that section of the storm is intensifying along with the western extent. All right, so let's just go from west to east. We're live on social media as well. I just got a question. Are there no tornado chances? The tornado chance is very low, but if there was a tornado to be embedded in here, it would be, they tick up very quick. In this kind of scenario, they tick up very quick. They're usually very brief, short-lived, and they're on the lower end of the EF scale, the EF rating, so EF zeros, EF ones. But that would be a very isolated area. There's a greater concern of damaging winds that can spread out across the length of a county. So we could be seeing damaging winds impacting a much larger area than an isolated tornado. And these winds up to 60, 65 miles per hour can do a lot of damage as well. So I would be more concerned, and I am more concerned with the damaging wind threat here across portions of central Texas right now, in the heart of central Texas, pushing down from north to south. So real quick, Corsicana, Fairfield, Mejia, Hillsborough, Meridian, severe threat is done for you guys. We're seeing the severe storms push off towards the south. A lot of instability left over from yesterday afternoon. So even though as we go deeper into the overnight, yes, we are losing some instability, there was so much built up yesterday that these storms are feeding off a lot of that warm, muggy, humid air that is in place across the area. I can't roll out a lingering shower here on the backside, but the greatest threat for severe weather is along and ahead of this line of storms. All right, further back towards the west, where we see these little purple, violet shadings popping up, that's where we could see embedded hail, quarter to $half size. So we could be seeing a hail core developing around Flat, one developing around Morgan's Point there on the northwest side of Temple. This line is racing off towards the south around 60 miles per hour. It's moving very quickly. So just 15 minutes ago, it was on the county line. Now we're seeing it move into Temple, Belton, and Harker Heights, Nolanville, and Killeen. So heads up to you guys, it extends back towards the northwest. Anywhere in this line, we could be seeing some damaging winds. Where we are looking at the velocity here, we're looking at the winds in the storm. The radar site is south of Bell County. It's north of Georgetown. It's right almost on the Bell County-Williamson County lines to the southeast of Salado. As that radar beam shoots back out to the north, we're looking at the winds. The winds in green, or the green here, is the winds moving towards the radar site. What's in red is the winds, the southerly winds out ahead of the storm system. All right, so where we're seeing the greens go from the dark green to the lighter green, then to the blue shadings, that's where we're seeing the winds pick up. So where we see the light blues here, anywhere across Coryell County, now south of Gatesville. I know I was getting a lot of messages. It was getting crazy there in Gatesville. The strongest winds are now south of you. Back off towards the west, we could see 60 to 65 mile per hour winds moving through Highway 36 and really all across the southern half of Coryell County here. All those winds aren't necessarily going to make it to the surface, but anywhere in here we could see those damaging wind gusts happening, and as this storm continues to race off towards the south. We are seeing those strong winds really pushing out with the line of storms here. You kind of see how it bulges out there. That's a good indicator that strong winds are pushing that precipitation out ahead, and so we're going to see the rain picking up now in Temple, and where we see these little purples popping up, that's where we're seeing quarter to $half size hail. These hail cores pulse up and down very quickly. They're not holding the hail up there very long. They're letting it dump out. So small hail could be anywhere in this line, but where we're seeing those darker colors showing up, going from the reds to the purples to the violets, that's where we could be seeing the larger hail cores pulsing up and down. So we could see some quarter to maybe even $half size hail along Highway 317 there in West Temple, North Belton, around Morgan's Point. Let's look at the winds inside here. This is where we do have a growing wind threat here. As the winds get closer to the radar site, we're not too far away now. We're looking at the lower levels of the storm. When the storms were further off to the northwest, the radar beam, as it goes out, it climbs in height. We were looking more in the mid levels of the storm, the upper levels of the storm when it was further off towards the northwest. Now as the storm system gets closer, we're seeing what's happening more in the lower half of the storm. So if these winds continue to stay bright as it gets closer to the radar site, then we know those winds are likely making it to the ground. So we could be seeing damaging wind gusts, 60 to 65 miles per hour, moving into Temple, moving into Belton, Nolanville, Harker Heights, Killeen, Fort Hood. Those strong winds are moving in now. That's what you're looking at. We're looking at the winds here. Here's the leading edge of those strong winds pushing into the Interstate 14 corridor and curving back up I-35. So if we're going to see some damage with this storm system, it's going to be right here with these strong winds that are moving into the the Bell County area now. Severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Hamilton, Lampasas, and Mills, 60 mile per hour winds and 1 inch hail. Let's see, trying to see if we've got any storm reports on here for you. Again, this entire line, there's really thunderstorm warnings all across central Texas this morning. It's almost too many to count at times. They're trying to consolidate them all down to one big line. But yeah, heads up to you. We would love to get some pictures. We'd love to get some video. You can text that to us at 254-859-5481. It's at the bottom of your screen right there. But going to ask you to do that when it's safe to. We would love to know if there's any damage reports out there, if there's what it looks like. I'm sure there's quite the lightning show. Very heavy rainfall, small hail, again, up to the size of a quarter, $half size hail. We would love to see some of that video. But right now, I need you to move away from the windows, move back in if you were stepping lying out on the porch. It's a very warm, muggy spring morning, so it's not too uncomfortable to step outside, but you're going to want to move back in, and again, even get away from the windows. It's tempting sometimes to watch these storms roll in, especially with the kind of electricity that we're seeing in the air, but you need to move away from those windows and give yourself as much room between the outside, or put as many walls between you and outside as possible. These are the kind of storm events that can knock over trees. So if you live in an area where you've got some big trees around your house, these are the kind of events that can knock over some of those trees. Again, we could be seeing 60 to 65 mile-per-hour winds now, leading edge moving into Killeen, Interstate 14, Harker Heights, Nolanville, Belton, Morgan's Point, Temple. These strong winds are moving in right now. I've had some people ask, is this current time? Yes, this is 3:35. You can see the timestamp there in our top right of your screens. Yes, rain and winds, getting reports that it's picking up in Killeen. It's going to be picking up all across Bell County here. Let's shift off towards the east real quick for our folks a little bit further east of I-35. The line kind of bends back around here a little bit. Not as intense, and because so, we've seen the severe thunderstorm warning drop for Leon County. We are currently not warned for anything for severe storms here in Robertson County, and we no longer have a thunderstorm warning in Milam County, though with this line of storms, if it continues to stay on pace here, I think we'll see a new severe thunderstorm warning being issued for Milam County as that continues to rapidly push off to the southeast. Again, this leading edge could be producing some quarter to half dollar size hail, up to 60, 65 mile-per-hour winds. Very heavy rain and quite the lightning show. We'll likely see these two areas kind of close in on each other, producing a lot of rain. Flooding threat, it's low. But again, areas that typically see the water pull up, low-lying, poor drainage areas, those urban areas where you get a lot of streets, a lot of concrete, a lot of parking lots, you can certainly see the water kind of pull up in those areas. Thankfully, the storm is progressing quickly off towards the south, so it's not setting in one area too long. But with this kind of line of storms, the amount of moisture that's in the air, it's trying to squeeze all that out that it can, and so it can certainly give you a quick half inch, inch and a half of rainfall, not out of the question here. Again, this section of the line doesn't look too intense. We've seen some of those colors come down, those brighter, deeper, darker reds. Still a lot of lightning. Not seeing anything too concerning with the winds here. Everything is well behaved, well below the severe limits of 60 miles per hour. Certainly still some gusty winds. Getting reports of gusty winds in Franklin and across Robertson County. But everything is well behaved. Our greatest concern is going to be for the wind threat moving into Bell County currently right now. Let's see. Did have Hood Army Airfield reporting wind gusts to 52 miles per hour, so certainly could be seeing 50 to 60 mile per hour winds in Bell County. So that's why that's our strongest segment of this line of storms. And we could certainly see wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour as this line really pushes into Temple. Of course, we've got the airport on the northwest side of town, so as the storm pushes through those areas, we'll try to get those readings out as quick as possible. Let's back up a little bit here. I want to go back and let's back up here. So again, I'll zoom out just a little bit. Here's our line of storms. And again, we're live on Facebook as well, so we're trying to reach as many people as possible. A severe line of storms moving across central Texas from north to south. The National Weather Service is clearing counties from the thunderstorm watch, which has been extended till 6 a.m., though this line of storms should be south of the area by 6 a.m. as it's rapidly, again, pushing south at around 60 miles per hour. They are clearing counties from north to south, and they're also trimming these thunderstorm warnings from north to south. But we basically now have got it down to what looks like about 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. We have one big warning polygon here for McLennan County, all of Falls County, and into southwestern Limestone County. We have one big warning here for the lower half of Coryell County, and all of Bell County, and then it looks like we have severe thunderstorm warning for Mills County and to Lampasas. 60 to 65 mile per hour winds, that is our greatest concern. Right now, the section of the line moving into eastern Milam and Robertson counties are overall well behaved, producing some heavy rain, some gusty winds and lightning, and maybe some small hail in there. Our greatest concern for hail is going to be right in here where we're seeing some of those purples showing up. So the worst of the storm is actually moving into Bell County now. Let's zoom back in. So we should see the rain and potentially some of that hail picking up in downtown Temple, Belton, all along I-14. Salado heads up to you. You had the one thunderstorm move through a little while ago. You're seeing that pick up. Goldthwaite, you have the very far western extent of the line moving into your area now, and some heavy rain, some lightning, and maybe even some quarter to $half size hail there along Highway 84 between Goldthwaite and Evant, where we're seeing more of the purple and violet showing up. As you go further down the line, heavy rain, things are lighting up a little bit in Gatesville. The worst of the storm is now south of you, but the worst of the storm is impacting the northern half of Bell County. So heads up Salado, areas off towards the south, Highway 95, 190 towards Rogers, Little River Academy. This is going to be moving towards you as I can hear the rain starting to pick up outside the studios here in downtown Temple. Where we're seeing these purples, that's where we could be seeing quarter to $half size hail, and the winds possibly up to 65 miles per hour. This line of storms is moving very quickly at 60 miles per hour. So it's going to be out of Bell County, or the leading edge of this will be moving into Milam County likely in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Heavy rain starting to pick up here at the studio. Probably going to be some embedded hail in there and some very strong winds. You can really hear the wind starting to pick up out there as well. So yes, thank you for the feedback. I know what you guys are experiencing out there, but again, we could be seeing a damaging wind threat here really picking up in Bell County. As the I'll even put the radar site in view here. And Texas Today starts in a little less than an hour. And we need to get this line out of here because I've still got some work to get ready so I can bring you the latest and get you caught up on the forecast for what should turn out to be a beautiful next couple of days. We're going to see a lot of sunshine on the backside of this cold front that's kicking up all this rain. We're going to see less humid air moving in and some drier air, and so we're going to be dealing with some nicer conditions, though tomorrow we'll still have a breezy north wind. Let's see, yeah, so wind's going to be waking you up here in Bell County where we're seeing the blue. So the radar site right there just to the south of Bartlett, that's where the radar site is, so it's not scanning that far away. So we're seeing some strong winds being detected in the lower levels of these storms. As the storms are farther away, the radar beam obviously goes up in height as it shoots out, and we're not sure if those strong winds are reaching the ground. When you're back towards Hamilton, Meridian, we need that ground report, that ground truth. But as the storm gets closer to the radar, which again is just south of Bartlett, you're talking not that far now, we're getting a good idea that where we're seeing these brighter blues here, we could be seeing some very strong winds. We've had winds reported around 50 miles per hour out here around Fort Hood and Killeen. You're seeing some of those lighter blues out there. There's a great chance that we're seeing at least wind gusts of 50 miles per hour here in the lighter blues from Nolanville, Harker Heights, back into Belton now on the west side of Temple, moving into Temple. This is where we could see 60 to 65 mile per hour winds. So anything that's loose outside is going to easily be picked up and tossed around. So move away from those windows. Let's let this pass by. Again, this leading edge is moving 60 miles per hour to the southeast. Very heavy rain, a lot of lightning. Again, this is the most intense section of this line of storms, which goes all the way from the west out there around Goldthwaite, Mills County, all the way east to I-35, east of I-35 through Falls County into Limestone, Freestone, Leon County, I-45. But the most intense section of the line, that's why I'm zoomed in here. I know there's a lot of you out there, you're still dealing with some gusty winds, you're dealing with some heavy rain, some lightning, maybe even some small hail. But the most intense section of the line of storms is right here in Bell County. We're even seeing some of the lights flicker here a little bit. As again, let us know what you're seeing out there. But we could be seeing winds 60 to 65 miles per hour. This is a bigger concern than an isolated tornado. If you had an isolated spin up in here, it would affect one small area. The tornado threat isn't zero. It's very low. A brief isolated tornado can't be ruled out. But look at this. You've got this area of winds that's covering almost the northern half of the county here, so you could have a much larger area being impacted by some damaging winds than one or two isolated tornadoes here. So I know the tornado gets all the hype, and rightfully so sometimes, but when you get these lines coming through, they can produce damaging winds that affect a much larger area than any one tornado would ever really likely do, though there are some long-track devastating tornadoes out there. We're not concerned about that. We're concerned with this long-tracked wind event that's been moving from north to south here across central Texas. So the blues that are showing up here, that's where we could be seeing 50 to 65 mile per hour winds right here in the lighter greens to the blues. This is the wind field. These green winds are moving towards the radar site, which is just south of the Bell County line, just south of Bartlett there. So these winds, we're getting a good picture here of the low-level winds likely making it to the ground. So we should be seeing at least 50 to 60 mile per hour winds moving through Bell County at this time. Move away from windows. Let's see. We have a wind gust of 60 miles per hour being reported. So yeah, so this storm is definitely producing some damaging wind gusts here in portions of Bell County. So heads up to you, Salado. The strong winds are moving into your area now. Holland, heads up to you. You've got a couple more minutes, probably about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Holland, Rogers. Milam County, they haven't extended the severe thunderstorm warning towards you, but they certainly likely will be. And still some strong winds as you go from Killeen back up into western portions of Coryell County back towards the north of Lampasas, in between Lampasas and Event. Looks like a large area here producing strong winds. Let's see. Gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour still possible across much of Bell County here. 56 mile per hour wind gusts at the Temple Airport. So we're seeing it. We're getting some of those reports coming in. So again, anything that's loose outside is going to be blown around. 50 to 60 miles per hour winds can certainly create some power outages, power issues. And then if we're seeing maybe a few areas of some isolated stronger winds, 60 to 65, and that can cause damage, that can knock over trees. So we've already at least had some reports, confirmed reports of 50 to 60 mile per hour winds in Bell County. So again, this is where we're starting to get the ground truth a little bit, and that's what we need sometime. Still hailing Lake Belton. Let me know if you can get some pictures once it quiets down a little bit what the hail size is. We could be seeing hailstones around the size of quarters, maybe a few $half size hail stones mixing in there. Where we're seeing the hail is going to be right here in those where you go from the darker reds to the purples to the violets. That's where you're seeing the hail cores in there. So if we're going to be seeing some hail, small hail up to the size of quarter, maybe some $half size hail. You can see in this picture Waco. Waco, you're okay right now. The severe threat is to the south of you. You're still dealing with some gusty winds, some rain, some lightning. Back towards the west in this red line, that's where we could still see winds 50 to 60 miles per hour. Gatesville, the worst of it is on the south side of you. So they've trimmed that severe thunderstorm warning back for the southern half of Coryell County now, and then we have it for all of Bell County as we get this severe line of storms to move through. You see how you kind of get that little bulge there? You get it surging out the rain. That's a good idea. It's almost like a U there. We're seeing kind of a U shape, and that's because we have strong winds pushing that rain, pushing that hail out ahead, surging it forward, and that's where you get those what we call little Boeing segments, and that's usually where our strongest winds are, and we're able to see that with the velocity that I was showing you with the green and the red on the radar, and then also here on reflectivity we can see that there's strong winds there just because we get that Boeing feature, and that strong wind is coming in from the north and it's surging out the precipitation. Looking back here to the east, continue to see some weakening trends for portions of Falls County, back towards southern Limestone. Limestone, Freestone, you guys are good now. The severe threat south of you. Leon County, severe threat south of you. Franklin, it looks like. Robertson County, the severe threat is winding down for you guys. It's pushing off towards the south. As Milam County, though, you're going to get another shot here for another severe storm. You had one earlier around Rockdale and south of Cameron. Let's push out just a little bit here. Let's see if we got any more updates. 60, 70 mile per hour. It's pretty much of the central eastern Bell County. Yeah, a lot of Bell County is probably seeing actual wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. So definitely a very, very strong storm moving through central Texas currently at this time. So the strongest winds, excuse me there, almost slipped. We've got water coming in our back door here as the wind is really driving in that rain. Wow, almost fell down there. That would have been devastating. I know. I got the producers up there in the air saying, please don't fall down. All right, so the worst of it continues to surge off towards the south. Rogers, Little River Academy, it was just to your northwest, but again, this line is moving 60 miles per hour. So it's going to be moving into Milam County in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, this thing is moving at an incredible rate. I do want to do an update back towards the west. This is one of those times where everything is being warned here across central Texas for the possibility of damaging winds. Okay, so real quick update back towards the west. Looks like the strongest section of this far western extent is now pushing through Goldthwaite into southern Mills County. It's going to be moving into San Saba County here very soon. Looks like they extended warning down there for San Saba County. We have the severe thunderstorm warning going for Lampasas County as well as this section of the line continues to move in. Greatest concern here, heavy rain, lightning, and then wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. Strongest winds are a little bit further off towards the east. Gatesville, you're no longer in the severe thunderstorm warning. We've still got some 50 to 60 mile per hour winds possible here moving in on Copperas Cove and through all of southern Coryell County. Let's go a little bit further off towards the east. Just want to do an updated check for areas to the north. Meridian, Hillsborough, severe threat has moved further to the south for you guys. So Hill County, no severe thunderstorm warnings for you. No severe thunderstorm warnings for you in Bosque County. Everything's pushing off towards the south. Jonesboro, northern Coryell County, severe threat is off towards the south. We've got some lingering showers, thunderstorm, some gusty winds for Waco, Elmont, West, even some lightning probably lingering. Severe threat is to the south of you. It looks like the northern extent of the severe warning is still very close to Waco, but you can see how quickly you're going from the darker reds to the yellows. A little bit further off towards the east, let's see. Again, nothing concerning here. Limestone, Freestone, Fairfield, Mahé, Groesbeck, you guys are okay. Severe threat is pushing off towards the south for you. Leon County, severe threat is off towards the south. Some lingering showers, some lightning, some gusty winds. You guys are okay. No warnings for Leon, no warnings for Freestone. You still got a little bit of a warning area here in southern Limestone, but it looks like the severe threat south of you, so you guys are okay. So again, I can clear you in Limestone and Freestone, Leon counties. Robertson County, the strongest storms are well off towards the south. This is even weakening some. Still a lot of lightning and some gusty winds in there, and we're seeing it really starting to close in here in Milam County. Looks like we could be seeing Hellcore here, some very heavy rainfall likely. Small Hill up to quarter size, $half there. Getting closer to Rogers, Little River Academy. We're also likely seeing those stronger winds now getting on the south side of Temple. Let's take another look at that. We are getting several reports of winds 50 to 60 miles per hour so across Bell County. So this storm, we're able to see on radar, hey, this thing is certainly looks like it's producing a lot of rain. We can even see when it looks like it's producing hail. We can see when it looks like it's producing some strong winds, but we have to wait till we start to get those reports and kind of get that ground truth. Now we're starting to get verification that, okay, these strong winds that the radar's picking up on inside the storm are making it to the ground. So could easily be some power issues. Chelsea up there, I know you guys are busy up there, but if you get a chance, let's see if we can find out if there are, maybe look at one of the power outage maps and see if we're having any issues in Bell County. It may take some time to come in, but if you find a minute or two to kind of look that up, relay that to me and I'll try to relay that out to other people. Of course, we're live here on Channel 6. We all know what it's like. If you got satellite, your TV may have gone out. If it hasn't gone out yet and you're in portions of Bell County, again, we're live here on social media. So we're live on Facebook. We've had this Facebook Live going for quite some time now. You can jump on here. If you've got friends or family and you think their TV's gone out, tell them to jump on here. We'll keep you updated as this line of storms gets so much closer to moving out of our area, but yet is very strong here. As it is pushing through Bell County. So we're going to get a new severe thunderstorm warning from Milam County, and this will be for the strong winds that are coming out of the Belton Temple area. Let's get an update on those strong winds. Let's see where those strongest winds are. We still have some gusty winds back here to the west. Let's do that real quick. This is a huge area that we're trying to cover. Where you're seeing the green go to blue, that's where we could be the best shot to be seeing some 50 to 60 mile per hour winds making it out of the thunderstorm and down towards the surface. So that's why we have these severe thunderstorm warnings for Mills County. All of Lampasas County should be seeing the strongest winds moving into Adamsville. Heads up to you in Lampasas, you could see 50 to 60 mile per hour winds within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Gatesville, the strongest winds are to your south. Killeen still should be very windy there in Killeen and Fort Hood. New severe thunderstorm warning for Bell Falls and Milam County for 65 mile per hour winds and quarter to half dollar size hail. Let's move over to the east. This is the strongest section of the storm here in central Texas. Go ahead, Chelsea. Okay, yeah, you can read some of those to me. Or are we able to pull those up? Going to try to get... Oh, there we go. Yeah, so also here on social media, getting power out in Belton by the Stillhouse Lake. Yeah, so if TV's going out, tune in here on social media. That's the great thing about social media, is that we don't have to, once your TV goes out, if you've got satellite, you're not stuck, you're not in the dark, so to speak. You can continue to get that live coverage here. So you saw a lot of reports coming in across Bell County, and I would expect that with winds 50 to 60 miles per hour. Again, we do have a threat for 65 mile per hour winds. So the strongest winds are now east and southeast of Temple. We're looking at velocity here. You see that donut hole right there south of Bartlett? That's the radar site. So these winds are very close to the radar site, so the radar is looking in the lowest levels of the storm, and when we still see the blues showing up and those lighter greens showing up when the storm is very close to the radar site, we know there's a likelihood that those strong thunderstorm winds are making it to the surface. Plus, as this has been moving across the some of our weather recording station sites, we've been getting 50, 60 mile per hour winds. So this has a great chance here of producing some power outages and maybe some damaging winds. This also will pick up easily a lot of debris across a large area. This is why we forget and we highlight the tornado threat, and rightfully so sometimes. The tornado threat isn't zero here, but our greatest concern has been the potential for damaging winds, because if you had an isolated tornado or two here or there, it affects a very small isolated area in this kind of instance. But when you talk about these straight line winds, you're talking about the potential of 50 to 60 mile per hour winds affecting all of eastern Bell County, and then where you go back towards Killeen, I-14, back into Coryell County, Lampasas, same thing. You're talking about damaging winds 40, 50, 60 plus miles per hour. So these wind events, these damaging wind events, can affect a much larger area at one time. So just because we don't have tornado warnings doesn't mean these storms aren't packing a punch, because again, we're seeing and we're getting ground truth of that now. 60 mile per hour winds are coming out of these thunderstorms. All right, so again, velocity, we're seeing the greens. This is moving towards the radar site. So where we go from the darker greens to the lighter greens to the blues, that's where we have our strongest winds. So severe thunderstorm warning here for Bell County for this cluster of winds pushing into Milam County here. So Milam County, you're back under a new severe thunderstorm warning. It even does extend out here into Falls County. It does include Rosebud. So we'll watch this bowing feature here. Again, very strong winds coming in. We'll watch this eastern edge. That'll likely continue to track east, and we may see some of that move into southern and southwestern portions of Falls County. Rosebud, as it looks right now, maybe the strongest winds stay just to the south of you. If you're joining us, Waco, strongest storm is off towards your south. Leon, Freestone, or Limestone counties, Freestone County, Leon, you guys are okay. Robertson County looks like the worst is off towards your south and west right now. Strongest, most intense storms are right here getting ready to push into Milam County, extreme eastern Bell County. This cluster of storms, this area of strong winds, has a history of producing 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts across Bell County. So heads up to you if you live along Highway 190, anywhere between Cameron back towards Little River Academy, Rogers, Temple. Anywhere in here right now, you're talking about winds 50 to 60 miles per hour. So power outage is likely an issue here. The winds, we start to lose some of those brighter colors, but still you're talking winds easily 40 miles per hour, gusting along Highway 14. Still some strong winds around Killeen, so we could still be seeing wind gusting over 50 out here, 50 up to 60 miles per hour around Killeen, Copper's Cove, and then now we're seeing those strong winds quickly racing through Lampasas County. Adamsville, we're seeing the strongest winds now between Adamsville along Highway 281 between Lampasas and Adamsville. So we'll continue to watch that for you. Again, I'm not trying to leave anyone out. It's just that the strongest winds and the most dangerous, damaging part of this storm is right here in southeastern Bell County moving into Milam County. Here's what it looks like. Zoomed out, more of the big picture here. I'll even put some of this lightning on for you so you guys can see that as well. A lot of lightning out there. Again, we talk about the lightning intensity. When the lightning intensity goes up or down, that means the intensity of the storm is going up or down. It's a good indicator of it. Look at the lightning here across our far southeastern areas, Robertson County. A lot of lightning out there, but it's gone down. We're also not seeing those darker reds, so we know that the reflectivity showing here, still some very heavy rain, as there is a lot of moisture in the atmosphere for this storm system to work with. But the intensity of this section of the line is coming down. That's good news for us. We've seen a lot of lightning with this section from portions of Falls County, back all through Bell County, back through the southern half of Coryell, into Lampasas, into Mills County, getting ready to move out of Hamilton County. A lot of lightning in here. That's our strongest section, and we could see 60 to 65 mile per hour winds anywhere in here. A big section of this line is at least producing 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, and that again can create lots of power issues. That can knock over trees in its own right, but then you start talking about embedded wind gusts of 60 miles per hour to possibly even 70, and then you can create a lot more damage. All right, so again, Centerville, Buffalo, over towards Ridge, Franklin, Calvert, Bremond, Groesbeck, back to the north. You guys are okay. Greatest section that we're going to start to focus on here. Everyone in McLennan County, you guys are currently okay. We're talking Mills, Lameda, Lampasas, Adamsville, Lampasas County, over towards southern Coryell County, Copper's Cove, all through Bell County. This is the worst section of the storm. Let's see if there's any new storm reports. Still getting some wind gusts, 50 miles per hour in a big portion of Bell County here. So yeah, we're still getting lots of reports of 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. Hearn even had a report of 61 mile per hour wind gusts there. So again, we are seeing a very intense line of storms moving through central Texas. All right, here we go. And we're also talking about there is the threat of some embedded hail in here, some damaging hail. That's going to likely be where you're seeing these purples, these violets showing up in the Rogers area, getting ready to move into Milam County. Again, not worried about damaging hail throughout this entire line, but we could see some quarter-size to half-dollar-size hail. And the best shot for that kind of size of hail is going to be right here in southeastern Bell County, south of Temple, where we're seeing those pinks and purples showing up right on top of Little River Academy there. Now the greatest hail threat is right in here, shifting through Rogers very quickly. Again, this line segment is racing to the south around 60 miles per hour. More so here, it's racing to the south around 60 miles per hour. Back towards the west, doesn't look like it's moving as quick, maybe 40 to 50 miles per hour. But again, this is a 1 hour radar loop, and this has quickly moved almost through half of Lampasas County here in the last, what looks like 30 minutes or so. So this is moving into Lampasas right now. Lameda heads up to you. Mills County, it's moving into your southern half there. It gets out towards San Saba. We start to lose our range of viewership here, but just want to keep everybody updated. Strongest, most damaging wind threat here in Bell County, moving into Milam County. That's why we're on here, is because we are really concerned with the real possibility of some damaging winds raking across a big portion of central Texas. Let's readjust this, and we'll save it here. Zoom in. All right, so our strongest winds are definitely moving through the Rogers area, and you can see how again, like a backward C right here. That is some really strong winds pushing through, and where we go from the greens to the blues, that's our pockets of stronger winds. So anywhere in here we could see wind gusts over 50. Where you get the blues, that's your best shot to see winds 60 to 65 miles per hour. So it's right on top of you in Rogers. It's moving into Milam County. It's down towards the south. Strongest winds are east of you in Salado, maybe a pocket of strong winds to the southwest there. Things are going to be quieting down as far as the intensity of the winds in Temple, but the strongest winds, yeah, still going to continue to push off towards the southeast. Milam County, you already had one severe thunderstorm warning Earlier on, as an isolated thunderstorm developed well out ahead of the line, now you're going to get your second shot of some heavy rain and gusty winds. Again, we're still live here on social media. I'm trying to read your comments. How much longer in Temple? We can go back. The intensity of the rain is going to continue here, but again, the strongest winds are pushing through Rogers, down Highway 95 towards Bartlett, Holland. Strongest winds are from Holland back towards Rogers. That's getting ready to move into Milam County. We've still got some gusty winds out towards Killeen. To the south of Killeen, you could still be seeing wind gusts over 50 miles per hour, but it is quieting down. We're losing those light blues and we're going to more of darker green. So the winds are going to be relaxing across a big portion of Bell County. Not seeing any severe winds across McLennan County. Not even really seeing much of a severe wind threat in Limestone, Freestone, Leon, even into Robertson County. Though these areas have seen some strong wind gusts, we're not currently seeing it. We still could see some gusty winds around Rosebud. Wouldn't be shocked. You're still warned for the possibility of a few isolated wind gusts, 50 to 60 miles per hour. Let's see here. We could still be seeing winds translate out of the storm, 50 to 60 miles per hour. Extreme eastern Bell County. Wind threat continues for Milam County. Additional strong winds possible across southern Lampasas and Mills County. So again, the big picture here, damaging winds anywhere from Lameda across Lampasas County back into southern Coryell. Still across Bell County, though our strongest wind pockets are here in southeastern Bell, southeastern, extreme southeastern Bell County, eastern Bell County. So from Rogers over to Holland. There's still some strong wind gusts around the Salado area, back towards the south side of Killeen, areas south of I-14, Coppers Cove, back across all of Lampasas. You still got those strong winds that are going to be coming in to Lampasas here in the next couple of minutes, and we're seeing the damaging wind threat is not a concern for McLennan County. So power out off West Adams. Yes, we just had the graphic up a little bit ago showing a lot of areas without power here, and that's because when you get 50 to 60 mile per hour winds move across such a large area, then you can really start to expect the power issues. I've seen power issues when we've just had winds. Here we go with the power outages when we've had winds just 30, 40 miles per hour. Again, we're looking at customers being affected across a large area of Bell County. Affected customers, 28,127. Active outages, 754. So again, go report those outages if you have them, and let's try to paint as updated of a picture as we can. This was the area here in Bell County. This is like where we're going to have our highest concentration of power outages, because this is where we've had the strongest winds. We've had some locally strong winds as this line's moved from north to south. Don't get me wrong. All of Central Texas has experienced quite the severe storms here, but this has by far been the strongest winds that we've seen across the largest area here, and now moving through Bell County. And it is almost out of Bell County, the strongest winds, but it's going to take a little time. You still got a lot of rain. You throw the lightning on there. Still seeing the lightning staying strong. This is a very healthy line of storms that goes from Gulfweight all the way through Lampasas, south of Gatesville now, all through Bell County. Very electric storm back into Falls County. Still some gusty winds here, and we're almost basically down to, I think, 3 thunderstorm warnings it looks like here. We have 2 that are overlapping each other from Milam County into southeastern Bell County. Falls County, 65 mile per hour winds with this leading edge that is quickly moving 60 miles per hour. The storm itself is moving 60 miles per hour off towards the southeast. Severe thunderstorm warning goes until 5 a.m. On the back side of that, we're going to be quieting down. The severe threat is rapidly pushing off towards the southeast. So as this line of storms moves through your area, we will see the severe threat moving and shifting further off towards the south as well. So that's good news for us. So still a lot of lightning and still some rain out there, but we are going to see the severe threat calming down and quieting down here from north to south over the next couple of hours. And that's going to be good for us, because we are going to get a beautiful day here to set up across Central Texas. And we'll even see plenty of sunshine this afternoon. A cooler, less humid north wind is going to move in, though it will be breezy at times. We will be able to dry out and and we'll experience a couple of days of some warm temperatures in the upper 70s, lower 80s, but not going to be dealing with muggy conditions. Yeah, so the rain is going to continue to move off towards the south. So Hillsboro, West, Waco, you guys are going to be okay. You guys are going to be done here. As the severe line is moving through Bell County, this is it. This is the show here. So as this moves through the area, as this pushes south, as this clears your area from north to south, your severe threat is wrapping up for you this morning. Still a lot of lightning out there, and we've got pockets of severe hail around Rogers, Holland, now into Milam County. We're talking quarter to $half size hail is possible. This line of storms has a history already of producing damaging wind gusts, 50 to 60 miles per hour across Bell County. And we could be seeing those strongest winds now pushing into Milam County. So Milam County, you already had one round of severe storms earlier this morning out ahead of this line. Now you've got another one moving through. All right, most intense section is certainly being taken care of by this severe thunderstorm warning. It's within the boundaries of it. We'll have to watch to see if it tries to spread a little bit more into western Robertson County as that line storms that move through has weakened. But now we have another line that is moving in from the northwest. So from Lott down to Rosebud, very heavy rain, leading edge of some damaging winds moving into northern portions of Milam County. Strongest damaging winds are moving from Bell County into Milam County. A lot of you asking how's Temple doing. We're seeing the winds quiet down. They're going to relax. It's still breezy out there, but you guys are all welcome on here too. Yeah, it's going to continue to pass. Still breezy out there. Still a lot of lightning. Still heavy rain. Lost power in Cove. Again, tell your family, tell your friends. They can join us here on social media as well if they lose us on air. We want to make sure we keep everyone covered. You guys are welcome. So we're seeing things quiet down. All right, we're going to see things quiet down for McLennan County. Still got some rain out here towards the west. Crawford, this is below severe limits. We'll still see some lingering showers, but the wind intensity, the greatest winds are going to be down here along the leading edge where you're seeing the darker reds. So things are quieting down for you in Gatesville, flat, back towards the west. Pretty much the northern two-thirds, a good two-thirds of Coryell County is now going to be what we like to say, easier to say sometimes, severe clear. We still got some strong wind gusts around Coppers Cove down towards the south, and we're seeing those strongest winds now finally making their way into Lampasas city there, but all of Lampasas County experiencing some strong wind gusts. Now those stronger winds should be south of Adamsville. Goldthwaite, looks like you're in the clear now as the strongest winds. Okay, yeah. Let's throw those up, Chelsea. So here's some hell pictures from Little River Academy. You see the number there at the bottom of your screen, 254-859-5481. Text us video, text us pictures. When it's safe to go outside, send us these hell shots if you can. Try not to, when the strongest winds are moving through your area, try not to stand by those windows as debris could be picked up and could be thrown in to the window. Wow, look at that. You see that so often. I feel like in other parts of the southern plains where they get thunderstorms to roll through all the time and it looks like it snowed outside. It doesn't always happen like that here in Central Texas, but we experienced that this morning. So this entire line of storms capable of producing small hail, and we're also concerned with the possibility of some embedded quarter to $half size hail. And we just saw those pictures coming out of Academy, so that's that hail core right there. Images like that are going to continue as long as we have that hail core continuing off towards the south. That's where we have the heaviest amount of hail falling from this thunderstorm. That hail core can pulse up and down. It can drop a lot of it at once, and then it can regenerate some more hail and continue to produce off towards the south and southeast. All right, so we're almost through this, guys. A couple more minutes here. Again, this line's moving quick enough that we're going to try to get it out of here as quick as possible. And we're seeing the more intense line of the storms moving into our extreme southern and southeastern zone. So this is great news for us. Still raining crazy in Belton. Just hit Cameron, saying it's bad there in Cameron. Yes. Let's move in. Let's go back and look at the winds. All right, for everyone in Milam County, let's see here. All right, so one good thing to note. You can already see it here. Again, here's our radar site. Here's the donut hole. The radar is beaming out, and it's getting a good picture of the low-level winds. So these winds are likely all reaching the surface. So where we're going from the darker greens to the lighter greens to the lighter blues, and we saw a lot more of those across Bell County, Coryell County. This is where we had the reports, the confirmed reports of 50, 60 mile per hour winds, 60, even 65 mile per hour winds. That's where we saw those lighter blues. Now we're seeing less of those lighter blues out there, so the winds are relaxing. We still got 30, 40 mile per hour winds possible inside those greens, and as you get to the lighter greens and the blues, you start talking about wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. So as far as Bell County goes, still could see a pocket of severe winds here in our extreme southeastern zones, south of Holland. So if you live along and south of Highway 95 in southeastern Bell County, still dealing with some damaging wind gust potential there. And then we're also seeing still some strong winds back in extreme western areas of Bell County, southern Coryell. It looks like most of the severe weather is out of Coryell County now. So if you live in Coryell County, I think the severe threat is now outside of your area. Looks like we've even trimmed back the severe warning here. So Bell County, only our southeastern zones are under the severe warning now. Looks like Temple, Harker Heights, Nolanville, back towards the north, Morgan's Point. Looks like we're no longer in the severe warning here. Again, as the worst of it is now pushed off towards the south. We're seeing that leading edge. You can see that line there. That's where we're still talking about the strong winds picking up for Milam County. Not too bad here. We're not seeing all the blues showing up, the lighter blues that we saw in Bell County. So we're not likely seeing as much widespread severe winds here, but we could certainly still be seeing wind gusts 40 to 50 plus miles per hour. Continue to send us in those reports. It says it's hailing is coming down. Carolyn, where are you? I would love to know where you are. If you send in these reports, let us know where you are, so that way we can pass those along. We want to know where it's hailing, where it's not hailing, how much hail you're seeing, how much you're not seeing. Let us know what the intensity of the winds are doing. Does it seem like it's coming down in your area? Regardless, the storms are producing a lot of rain, a lot of lightning, right? So even just that on its own is going to seem very intense and very scary. You start factoring in the strong winds, and really the whole line seems severe. It doesn't matter where you live. Okay, a little bit further away from the radar site, still picking up on some strong winds out in Lampasas. We're seeing, for you folks out there now, Lampasas area between Lampasas and Copper's Cove, back off towards the northwest up Highway 183. This is the strongest winds for you guys. So this is the best shot to see 50 to 60 mile per hour winds are going to be right in here, moving into Lampasas, south of Adamsville. So you guys, the severe threat is now south of you, Hamilton. It's south of you, Adamsville. It's south of you, Evant. Severe threat is south of you along Highway 84 there in Gatesville. South of you in Goldthwaite and Mills County. It's moving into San Saba. The severe threat continuing to quickly almost push into Burnett County here as this line of storms continues to race off towards the east. Still some gusty winds in Bell County. Let's get the big picture here. Let's see. So they continue severe thunderstorm warning for Bell and Coryell County until 4:15. So that one just expired. And we continue the one for Lampasas and Mills until 4:45, so a little under 30 minutes there. And the Milam County severe storm is going to go until 5 a.m., so we'll continue to watch that one as well. All right, so again, good news is you can see it here too. You're not noticing those bright blues. So the winds are still strong, but they're not as strong as they were. So that's good news. We're seeing the severe threat come down. We've almost got all the severe thunderstorm warnings out of here. As far as the viewing area goes, if you're able to see us on TV at your home, Mills County, Lampasas, looks like Mills County, you guys are going to be the next to be cleared here. And then Lampasas, southern Lampasas County, I wouldn't be shocked if they don't update this severe thunderstorm warning here soon. It expires at 4:45. I think they could fix it here and trim off the northern half of this, as the greatest threat for any severe winds are going to be around Lomita, Lampasas, and to the west of Copper's Cove. Wind threat, we're still seeing gusty winds, likely still wind gusts around 30 miles per hour around Bell County, but the strongest winds have now pushed off towards the south. We're seeing those strong winds now in Milam County, so that's good news that it's starting to push off. And getting some reports here. Pea-size hail from a buddy of mine, so thank you for those reports. Yeah, so definitely some small hail up to the size of quarters is the greatest concern, and we're not seeing that everywhere now. Let's see. So the next potential area to see the hail covering the ground around your home is going to be right in here, just to the east of Bartlett. So almost into Williamson County, and then we'll let that leading edge of the storm go. But still now seeing our strongest section of the storm moving into Milam County and quickly racing off towards the south. So another 15 minutes here, and the worst of this is going to be out of the viewing area. So that's good news. But for you in Cameron right now, down towards Rockdale, rain's picking up, intensity's picking up, winds 30, 40, 50 miles per hour certainly look possible. I think the stronger 60, 65 mile per hour winds have started to come down, but that leading edge, that's where we could find a few of those. So Cameron, a lot of rain out there, a lot of lightning, and some small hail certainly looks possible. Could be some embedded larger hail. Let's go again to the winds, and let's see here. So now we're seeing it switch over to the red. So red is moving away from the radar site. There's the radar site. You get the strong winds coming in the green and the blue, and then as they pass the radar site, now they're going to show up in red. Moving towards the radar green, moving away from the radar red. This is called velocity. We're looking at the winds. And I showed you all the pretty colors here a second ago. That's the precipitation. That's called reflectivity. You're looking at the hail. You're looking at the rain. And with this, though, we just want to focus in on the winds. Where are the strongest winds? So we're definitely seeing some of those reds where we see the brighter reds become more pinkish. That's where we could see the more damaging winds. So possibly some damaging winds getting close to Rockdale. That's where we could see those winds getting over 50 to 60 miles per hour. That's close. If you live in Rockdale along Highway 79, anywhere along Highway 79 in Milam County, heads up to you. Highway 190, there southeast of Cameron. From Hearn down to Rockdale, if you live anywhere along there, heads up to you. Some strong damaging wind gusts are going to be moving through your area now and really within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Within the next 10 to 15 minutes, we may see the severe winds completely off towards the southeast, and we'll get ready to wrap up this severe event. I know when we look back here, let's see, I mean, we can go ahead and pretty much clear a big portion. Here's what it looks like. This line extends all the way off towards the east and to the southeast. This line of storms developed yesterday in Kansas, Missouri, and at one time extended from Oklahoma all the way back up to Chicago, and it has moved way off towards the east. You can still see this line of rain goes from Chicago all the way down the mid-Mississippi River Valley and swings back down towards the west. So the severe threat is over for Hillsborough, it's over for Meridian, it's over for Corsicana, it's over for our northern zones, Hamilton, Gatesville, Waco, severe threats over. We're talking our far southeastern zones, over for Fairfield, Limestone, Freestone counties, severe threats over for you in Leon County. We're talking this line of storms right there. As soon as it gets out of Lampasas, we're done. The worst of it looks like it's out of Bell County now, so winds should just steadily be relaxing across Bell County. Still dealing with some nice downpours out there. The flooding concern, the line is moving. It's producing a lot of rain, but it's moving. So flash flood would only be concerned in some low-lying, poor drainage areas. That's it. As far as a big flooding event, not expecting that because it is pretty progressive, so that's good news for us. But certainly those low-lying, poor drainage areas that see the water fill up pretty often in really any kind of rain event, you're going to see that happening now. What's hailing in Belton now is quiet. Yeah, still raining. Okay, so the severe threat is wrapping up for central Texas, and we'll continue to watch the worst of this now moving off towards the south for our neighbors to the south. Still have a pocket of some hail there south of Rogers. To the east of Bartlett there, south of Academy. That's where we could see around Davila, right there in Milam County. That's the one area that has the best shot to see some hail starting to cover the ground. Could be pea-sized hail up to the size of quarters. Then this red line, you see it kind of bowing here from southeast of Cameron back to the north of Rockdale. That's where we could see some damaging winds moving through there. I'll highlight that for you real quick. Next best shot for central Texas that could see some damaging winds is going to be right in here. That's where we could see some damaging winds. Excuse me. Moving through Milam County currently right now. So we'll continue to watch that. Strong wind hail moved on south from Little River Academy. Stopped hailing, still raining. Yes, that's good news. It was this little cluster. You see those pinks coming out of Temple? That little cluster, that was what was producing the small hail up to the size of quarters, even some half-dollar size hail embedded in there. That's moved off towards the south. This is the next and last final real concern here for Central Texas. This red line, very intense rain, could see some embedded small hail. We're seeing the small hail right along the Bell County and Milam County lines pushing off towards the south. A lot of lightning in here. Look at that. New radar scan, and it's just now jumped all the way down to the highway there. So our strongest winds are about to surge out of Milam County, but there could be 50 to 60 mile per hour winds right here along the highway south of Cameron between Rockdale and Hearn. Move away from those windows and let this storm pass by. It's going to be moving through in the next 5 to 15 minutes. The worst of it is going to be south of you guys in Milam County. So just a couple more minutes to go here. And what do we want to do as far as the show goes? Is Chelsea still up there in production? Do you just want to continue here for the next couple of minutes up to the start of the show? Or, okay. And a little behind the scenes here, I have not been able to prepare a show, so I'm going to need to be able to do a little bit of work here at some point during the show and try to get a 7-day for you. But again, our top concern has been this severe line of storms that has moved through central Texas and has produced some damaging wind gusts. So we'll stay with you another 5 minutes until Texas Today starts at 4:30. And then we'll take you up till 7 a.m. and then toss you over to the Today Show. The rain will be well gone by then. The severe threat continues to clear from north to south here across central Texas. Still a severe line of storms stretching back from San Saba all the way to the east through Lampasas County. We're seeing some strongest winds now in Lampasas, south of Lomita, over towards Copperas Cove. Still could see some embedded 50-plus mile per hour winds there around Lampasas, so we'll watch that. The strongest winds are now south of Bell County. They're moving into Williamson County. And then as far as central Texas goes, the viewing area, if you're watching us, it's this last little push right here. That's the last of it. Once that line gets south here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, likely by the time we start the Today Show, or Texas Today, we'll see the severe winds pushing off towards the southeast. Still can see that hell core right there. Send us those videos, send us those pictures, 254-859-5481. We want to know what you guys are seeing. Once it's okay to go back outside, if some damaging winds occurred in your area, especially around Bell County has the better shot for that, but even Coryell, the strongest winds really picked up across Coryell and then back through all of Bell County and now carry on through Milam County. If you've had some damage there, any loose stuff outside certainly likely got moved around at least a little bit. Send in those videos, send in those pictures. Let us know what you guys are seeing as we want to get those reports in, and we want to know how intense it was for you at your location. Real quiet and still in Belton. Yeah, so things will be quieting down a little bit. Rain's wrapping up here across northern portions of Bell County. Still lingering showers from Moody to Troy, Bruceville, Eddy. We've got some showers, but the more intense stuff is now rolling off towards the south and the southeast. So we're about 3 minutes away from the start of the show. Severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled for Mills County, so that's good. And again, looks like, I was just saying this a couple minutes ago, they should trim back the severe thunderstorm warning for Lampasas County, and we saw that. Now Adamsville, you're no longer in there, but southern 2/3 of Lampasas County, it's really along and in this red line here. That's where we could see the strongest winds. Still possibly some 50 to 60 mile per hour winds embedded in there. That's going to continue off towards the south. And then most of Bell County now not in the severe thunderstorm warning. Next, I would expect them to clear out the majority of Bell County, what's left with this other warning that does include portions of Falls County and then all of Milam County. Looks like the severe winds and the worst is off towards the southeast. Still a little hell core right there around Milam, Bell County lines, but that's going to continue to push off towards the south. Just some good rain, some lingering gusty winds, but below severe limits there for you guys. And then I'm not seeing anything severe here for the areas of Falls County, Lott to Rosebud here, southwestern Falls County. That's still in the severe thunderstorm warning. This one goes until 5 a.m., so about 30 minutes left. I think they should trim it, and they likely will here soon. Trim it more down towards just Milam County, maybe extreme southeastern areas of Bell County there. But overall, the severe threat is winding down for central Texas. Could see some gusty winds moving into the Calvert area. You're just outside the severe thunderstorm warning. Possibly some wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour will be possible there for you guys. And I think as soon as we go into Texas Today, we'll likely wrap this up on Facebook as well. And then we'll get on with the show, get you some damage reports if we can, get you caught up on everything you need to know local and nationally. And again, we're tracking a severe line of storms that has been moving through central Texas for the last few hours. And we are 1 minute out from Texas Today. Heidi Log is at the desk. She's ready to go. She's getting a sip of the coffee, and we're going to get you caught up. But the good news is really extreme southeastern areas of Milam County. That's the last little hoorah here. We're going to get those gusty winds out and move them towards College Station and Brazos County. And then our severe threat really looks like it's wrapping up. And just a couple more minutes. So we still have, yes, the lingering rain. And we still have the lightning out there. Are we gonna, Chelsea? Do you guys want to do it first, weather? Okay, I'll back up and we'll do a radar tour here. Okay, yeah, I'll get that ready for you guys. All right, so again, getting set up here, and we can look at the lightning, and we are about to throw it to Texas Today. Is going to start right now.
Breaking overnight, severe storms make their way to central Texas. From lightning to hail, we're tracking it all this morning. Meteorologist Zach Scott will have your full forecast in just a couple minutes. And new coronavirus guidelines for pet owners. Details in our talker of the day. It's all coming up on this Wednesday, April 29th, 2020. Early Texas Today starts right now. Well, good morning and welcome to Early Texas Today. First, we want to get you caught up on that breaking news. Severe storm sweeping across central Texas overnight. Viewers sent us photos of hail that fell in Killeen around 1:30 this morning. Take a look at these pictures here. Another viewer told us about some hail in Salado as well. Let's take a live look at radar. You can see the system moving south over parts of central Texas. Our weather team has been tracking it on air and online all night long. We'll get to Zach in just a minute. But first, we do want to say good morning to you and happy Wednesday, and we want to say good morning to Chris Rogers, who's also joining us from home right now. Good morning, Chris. Are you hearing rain in your area?
Oh man, a very noisy start to the day here at the Rogers household. A little behind the scenes for you guys at home. My power was actually going in and out a little bit, so a little iffy if we were going to get on air here, but things seem to have settled down, at least in my neck of the woods. We're lucky to have Zach, who's been working nonstop to keep people informed, doing a really good job. And I know that this storm system continues to move through central Texas, but I know that the worst seems to, at least by my ear, seems to be over here in my part of Temple.
Yeah, and Zach has been tracking it all night long into the morning hours. Zach, where is this storm now and where is it headed?
Yeah, it's going to continue to move off towards the south of central Texas. So if there's anything taking you down south I-35, even south I-45 towards southeast Texas, this line of storms is going to continue to move that way with you. So if we give it a little bit, if you can, I know some of you still got to go to work out there. If you're going to be